Coming up on Hunter News Now, an exclusive look inside of one of Hunter's very own art galleries, where students get to work alongside professional artists.
CUNY's response to the terrorist attack in Israel and the student protests at Hunter and at other campuses.
And you'll get to meet this week's scholar athlete, who is surely making a splash all over Hunter.
All that and more on this edition of Hunter News Now. Hello, and welcome to this edition of Hunter News Now. I'm Walter Weiss.
And I'm Sydney Hargrove. Tensions in the Middle East following the terrorist attacks in Israel are spilling over to some CUNY campuses. The attack on October 7th by the terrorist group Hamas was quickly condemned by Chancellor Felix Matos Rodriguez. In a statement to the CUNY community, he said, "CUNY is devastated by the scope of death and destruction in Israel still being assessed in the aftermath of Saturday's violent attacks by Hamas militants. The university is putting in place counseling and related support to our impacted students, faculty, and staff. We are especially concerned about members of our community who have families, colleagues, and friends in the Middle East."
CUNY's Jewish student organizations, known as Hillel, also made a statement in support of Israel following the Hamas attacks and condemned violence and anti-Semitism. The Baruch College Hillel hosted a solidarity vigil. Meanwhile, students at some other CUNY campuses, including the Grad Center and Brooklyn College, rallied in support of the Palestinians.
Here at Hunter, the Palestine Solidarity Alliance organized a demonstration for Palestinian rights on October 12th. About 200 students gathered in front of Hunter West to show their support, while a handful of students protesting the demonstration stood in another area behind NYPD barricades. The Chancellor made statements that rallies celebrating or supporting Hamas's actions do not represent the university and its campuses. Hunter's interim president, Ann Kirshner, strongly supported the Chancellor's position and called for respect for different positions of view and dialogue. A week later, several groups, including CUNY for Palestine and the PSA, urged students to join a walkout on October 25th, organized by the National Students for Justice in Palestine group.
Free Palestine! During the walkout, which took place on and around Hunter's campus, a representative from the Judaism on Our Terms group, a Hunter professor, and several students spoke to about 100 people. They chanted, "Free Palestine," and called for a ceasefire in Gaza. NYPD officials escorted the students as some pedestrians shouted profanities at them, but the demonstration remained peaceful and concluded at Hunter West.
In another email to the CUNY community, the Chancellor updated students on the extra safety measures being taken across CUNY's campuses and called for mutual respect between students, staff, and faculty. He also urged struggling students and faculty to seek help from CUNY's counseling and wellness centers during this time. Moving on to our next story. Walter, have you ever noticed all of those Fulbright Scholars on the screens in the hallways?
I have, Sydney. Very nice. What can you tell me about them?
Well, they look lovely, don't they?
They certainly do.
But in addition to that, and even better, just last month, Secretary of State Antony Blinken congratulated Hunter for being named a Hispanic Serving Institution leader for Fulbright Scholars. Only 46 other Hispanic Serving universities earned that distinction this year. Blinken commends Hunter for producing Fulbright Scholars, an extremely selective government-funded global student exchange program. Last year, 6 Hunter students won the prestigious award.
Hispanic Serving Institutes are higher education institutions that have 25% more Hispanic or Latino enrollment at the undergraduate level. Hunter's student body is 30% Hispanic or Latino.
Well, Walter, I think I can say on behalf of both of us, I would love to congratulate all of Hunter's Fulbright Scholars for all their hard work.
And I can second that, Sydney. I commend them for their diversity and their academic excellence.
Absolutely. So far this year, more than 60,000 migrants seeking refuge have been sent to New York City and currently reside in shelters, such as the Roosevelt Hotel. Migrants are given 1 to 2 months in these shelters before they have to find somewhere else to live. But they have to wait up to an additional 5 months to apply for working papers. Nicole Rajgor has more on what Hunter students think about the migrant crisis in this edition of Hunter Students Speak.
New York has always been a city of migrants and immigrants. I think that it's something that makes us more powerful.
Yeah,
but I know that
my parents migrated to this country, so I'm a first-generation American. So if they were treated in that manner, I'd be completely dissatisfied with the service of the country.
I'm international student myself, so like I know the process of like getting like work stuff and other stuff is like really difficult in this country. So
personally, I think making people wait for working permits, I don't see what purpose that has besides like xenophobia.
They'll say things like, why don't you get a job? And then if they do get a job, people complain that they're taking their jobs.
I think the comments that the mayor made were completely out of line and a little bit, honestly dangerous.
Don't really understand what his reasoning would be to say that it would destroy New York City. That seems very dramatic, and no, I wouldn't agree.
I feel like it would be improving New York City to tell more migrants that they could come here to see a better future for themselves.
I feel like New York City could do a lot more for migrants just by, bettering the housing situation.
Making the process of them getting a green card or becoming citizens more faster process.
I don't think that Mayor Adams should be instituting these deadlines for migrants to leave shelters.
There has to be some better system for this because the 60-day deadline is like kind of out of control. But
they're just trying to have a better life, and I think that we as fellow human beings should be helping them to achieve that.
Well, if you left Hunter College without graduating, CUNY wants you back. The City Council awarded CUNY Reconnect program $4.4 million this year to get former students back on campus to finish up their degree. Typically, these are older students who realize a college degree is a pathway to a better paying job. The program has been a major success, and last year re-enrolled 17,000 New Yorkers across the city's 25 city campuses.
We'll have more on CUNY Reconnect and what it means for Hunter students with special guest Joseph Fantozzi, who is Hunter's point person for CUNY Reconnect.
Stay with us.
I'm so happy that Hunter offers printing to all of its students. It's really convenient. I have class in 20 minutes and I was able to print my assignment, and it makes organic chemistry a little easier.
Yeah, it's really useful that we get to print things out here at the Hunter Library. I don't really have a printer of my own, so I'm really grateful for this resource. And if it wasn't for the Hunter printers, then I wouldn't have been able to print out this picture of Ice Spice and Taylor Swift.
Welcome back. Today our special guest is Joseph Fantozzi. He is Hunter's interim assistant vice president for student affairs and enrollment, and has been with Hunter College for 8 years now. He is here today to tell us more about CUNY Reconnect and how it works. Good morning, Joseph.
Good morning.
How are you?
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. To start us off, I would love if you could tell us about who the typical CUNY Reconnect candidate would be in terms of age, and how many credits would they need to graduate?
Sure, absolutely. Well, the CUNY Reconnect program, the whole point behind it is to make sure that we're engaging or re-engaging students who have dropped out of college or just have not finished their entire path. So the typical student that we're seeing here in Hunter in this program, in terms of average age, is mostly around what you would think of as an adult learner. So the vast majority of our students are 25 or older in this program. We do have some students that are traditional age students, but the vast majority of them are 25 and older. As far as credits are concerned, most of them are coming in more than halfway there to graduate. So most of them are coming in with 70 or more credits, and probably have about 1 to 2 years to graduation at this point.
And about how many students do you think Hunter has approximately?
Sure, yeah. Right now we have a little over 870 students in this program.
From CUNY Reconnect?
Yes, specifically here at Hunter.
So how exactly is CUNY Reconnect getting these students back into the classroom?
Sure, there's a number of different initiatives that are happening. First and foremost, we obviously know as an institution who has stopped attending. So we have some pretty aggressive outreach campaigns coming both from Hunter College but also from the CUNY Central Office to re-engage these students and reconnect them with the proper support they need to come back to school. Once they get here, the main point of connection of what we're trying to do is making sure that they are connected to the proper academic advising and financial advising to get them right back on the right path again.
Do they face any obstacles that you've come across?
Yeah, absolutely. This population, we are very aware of so many different obstacles, so they likely dropped out for a reason. We want to get behind that reason. Every case, of course, is different, but some of the major reasons, of course, could have been financial, could have been life circumstances, and now that they're re-enrolling, there could be quite a significant gap between when they are starting again and when they last completed their last class. So we want to make sure that we are understanding what happened during that time, getting them right on the right path again, and considering any of the life circumstances that they're currently dealing with as well.
I love that you take those circumstances into account. And speaking of those financial struggles, does Hunter offer any financial incentives for these students?
Sure, yeah. The vast majority of students in this program are receiving some sort of financial support. So that could be in a variety of forms. First and foremost, one of the first things that we try and do for these students is reconnect them, no pun intended, to the financial aid office to make sure that they are taking advantage of any state aid or federal aid that they might be eligible for. After that, we also have additional merit scholarship funding. Just last semester, we gave out around $95,000 just to Hunter students.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Joseph. I appreciate you coming here today. For those students who are interested in talking to Joseph, you can find him on the first floor of Hunter North in the Welcome Center, and he'll be more than happy to talk to you. Thank you, Joseph.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much, Joseph.
Thank you for coming.
Coming up next, the Lady Hawks are making Hunter proud on the volleyball court.
And an up-close look at Hunter's Kinsella Reis, who is making waves in the pool and behind the camera.
Hi, I'm Santino, and that bottle went in there because it's plastic. If it goes in any of these other bins, it doesn't get recycled.
Welcome back, everyone. Lots of exciting news in Hunter sports as we get ready to kick off the winter season.
And as the fall season wraps up, it looks like our Lady Hawks are flying into the CUNYAC finals. And who better to keep us on top of things than our correspondent, Megan Gleason. Hello, Megan.
Hey guys, how you doing?
So good. So good to see you again, Megan. What's the latest?
So we're going to start with a big introduction. The newest member of our Hunter Hawks men's basketball team, and he's an important one.
As our Hunter Hawks are approaching their winter season, our men's basketball team is back in full swing, but this year with a fresh face leading the team. Earlier this year, Director of Athletics Terry Wenshart hired Jamal Gis as the 15th head coach of our Hunter Hawks men's basketball team. A CUNY alum and former all-conference basketball player himself, Coach Gist feels like this is the perfect fit.
It's definitely a lot different here at Hunter. You know, it's enjoyable. A lot of the players that I'm coaching now, I've got to coach against for so long, and now being able to coach them and learning their techniques, their character, and things like that, it's been real cool so far.
His plan to focus on the players themselves and uplift them on the court and in the classroom has resonated well with our Hawks.
The rim is 9.5 feet.
Yes, Coach, he does a good job of, teaching and practice and really bringing out, I say like the dog in us, kind of showing us how the season is going to be and like what we need to do as a team to kind of, reach expectations towards the end of the season and also kind of give us like the blueprint on how we need to win, what we need to do to win. And
Hunter Athletics is excited to see where this partnership goes and are hopeful for a successful season. These boys are already hard at work preparing for a fresh start this season, and we're looking forward to seeing what's to come.
You can see our Hawks and Coach Gist in action at their season opener at Rutgers Camden on November 8th. As our fall season comes to an end, we are saying goodbye to our familiar favorites. With just 3 games left for our Lady Hawks in the volleyball court, they are determined to finish the season strong heading into championships. Coming off 2 wins and 1 loss this past week, our girls are still playing the same dominant and gritty game, and it's paying off. Don't miss the Lady Hawks at the final game at the CUNYAC Championships on November 7th. On to men's soccer. Unfortunately, their season has come to an end this past weekend with a tough 3-2 loss against Baruch in the CUNYAC Championship. They started off hot but were unable to sustain their lead. They finished the season with 6 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie, and had 2 players named to the All-Star team, as well as Coach Dan Sinelli being named Coach of the Year. Now, let's get to our winter sports. As you're about to see in this week's Scholar Athlete, our women's swim team has some stars, and they are certainly showing up. At their first swim meet of the season, our Lady Hawks traveled to the College of Staten Island, where freshman Jermaine Chow finished in first place for the 100-yard backstroke. And a big team effort landed the Hawks in second place in the 200-yard freestyle relay. You can watch these impressive Lady Hawks at their next home meet at the North Pool on November 15th. And last, but certainly not least, let's get a sneak peek at what Coach Gist and our men's basketball team are cooking up for the winter season. Coming off a losing season last year, they've got a lot to prove. I got to sit in on one of their practices last week, and if I'm being honest, they're in great shape. Basket after basket, from the 3-point line to up in the paint, these boys are going to be putting up points. Their defense isn't something to overlook either. With senior Luka Jakic, who was previously named a CUNYAC All-Star player for the last 2 seasons, they're going to be big plays all around. I know I'll be in the stands cheering them on this year. That's our sports report. Now, let's take a look at our Scholar Athlete of the Week. As you saw, swim season is here at Hunter and is already underway. All eyes are already on Kinsella Reis, who is this year's team captain. Reis came to Hunter to pursue her love of swimming and filmmaking. When she's not making waves in the pool, she's creating social media content for Hunter's athletic department. Nicole Rajgor has more on this week's Scholar Athlete and how she balances her passions in and out of the water.
Most of what goes on in my head during competition is when you have moments to yourself, you kind of take the time to visualize your event, see your form, and then just getting mentally prepped behind the block. Hi, I'm Kinsella Reis. I'm a junior here at Hunter. I'm a film production major. I'm a swimmer here, and I'm from South Jersey. I've been swimming competitively since I was 7, so having the opportunity to swim here collegiately was a great opportunity I decided to take on. I think I chose Hunter specifically because the team's dynamic and aspect from what I had seen when I was doing some recruiting, I really looked up to the girls that were already here, and the mesh between my class and my career goals with film production and the level of competition, the swim team here were both perfect fits for me. In the season, we swim 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. Managing all 3 of my big commitments here, being a student, being an athlete, and also my work in athletics itself, definitely comes with a lot of prioritizing sleep. I try my best to get 8 hours a night. Not the easiest, but I think having a good night's sleep keeps me happy. So my job here at Hunter Athletics is kind of with the sports information department. I do a lot of social media, content creation, website management, stuff like that. Being a film production major is so cool. I love being on set. I've done some work outside of school. Recently, I just had a film screen at a film festival here in New York. I think filmmaking comes here, and swimming is a close second. I love swim, but my career and my future really revolves around centering my passion and being able to work on sets and doing what I love. My drive to have such a busy schedule, I think, is all of the people I get to see. Having friends in a lot of different communities in my film classes and my swim team and work here at Hunter Athletics, I think the team energy is really what brings me here every day. To other filmmakers and other student athletes and other student filmmaker athletes, keep doing what makes you happy and try to fit it all in if you can.
You can catch Kinsella and the rest of the swim team at their home match on November 15th at the North Pool.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Of course.
Yes, thank you for keeping our audience apprised of what's going on. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks from now.
Yep, see you next show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
Hi, Hunter Career Center. How can I help you?
Welcome back. Most people think Hunter's only campus is right here in the heart of the Upper East Side. But for some majors, the school stretches all over the city. Earlier this month, I hopped on the 6 all the way down to Hudson Street to Hunter's very own gallery and an exhibit called Distortions, Moscow Conceptualists Working Today. There, I found something amazing. Hunter students creating something wonderful right next to contemporary artists from Russia.
So to feel that,
It's scary. Was I supposed to push in there?
and you feel this enlightenment.
Enlightenment is the goal of what's known as Moscow Conceptualism, the art movement that began in the early 1970s in the former Soviet Union. But what exactly does it mean to artist Victor Skersis?
Objects, minds of people, collectives, institutions, great parts of the civilization.
The Distortions exhibit is an experiment and collaboration between Hunter students and Russian artists. It aims to transform the gallery into a 2-month-long capsule to explore how existing artworks can be reworked and given new life, and to prove that art is so much more than just a picture on a wall.
It's rather a phenomenon of this universe that existed for thousands and thousands of years, and that's what really shows in this gallery and in this show.
In Skersis' perfect world, all art would speak for itself, whether by intention or interaction. Along with Hunter art professor Daniel Boskov, he works with students to create a world in which it does. The result? Something truly magnificent.
Anything that's on green wall is actually a historic work that we either recreated or, in this case, one of the artists, Vadim Zakharov, sent us the scrolls. On the white walls are basically the new works. So everything you see that's actually on a white wall, it's new works that students did together with the artists.
Students enjoy working alongside the artists and interpreting their pieces for themselves.
All right, take it away.
Victor's idea with this piece is that whenever he doesn't understand something, he goes to this. And his idea is that it gives him enlightenment and insight for things that are troubling him.
Unfortunately, the Moscow Conceptualism exhibit has closed, but you can check out the Cosmic Shelter exhibit right here at the Bertha and Kara Lubsdorff Gallery in Hunter West.
Finally today, we want to introduce you to our Scholar Artist of the Week, who is also a Muse Scholar using his talents to make horror flicks. His name is Sam Alexander, and after spending most of his childhood chasing ghosts in his local high school, he now uses his film to share his curiosity of the unknown. An upstate New York native, he's exploring how rural and urban life meet to tell horror stories with a comedic twist. Hunter News Now reporter Layla Gadd gives us a closer look into Alexander's flourishing career as an actor and a director, if you dare.
You can't channel that into a scene.
You got your wish.
Film is really important to me, but it's also very important to a lot of people. Hi, I am Sam Alexander. I am a filmmaker and Muse Scholar at Hunter College, and I'm in my sophomore year. I remember the first horror movie that I watched was Psycho. I watched it with my mom, and it completely blew me away. I remember my reaction vividly watching it. Hands was on my head. I was in distress. It's whoa, what is this feeling? And from that point on, I was I want to do that. I want to create that feeling for people. I want people to feel that same distress that I just felt. I thought it was magical.
He opened up a toothpick business. He was a master at the woodcut. Everyone told him, use your skills for good.
It's called Pickin' Season. It's about a farmer who kills people with toothpicks. And the pick flies around through the air.
It's pickin' season!
So a huge factor in my decision of coming to Hunter was the Muse Scholar Program. I thought it was really a cool thing to be involved with so many artists and so many people in one space that are just open-minded about art. I live on the campus of my old high school because both my parents worked there. As a kid, I had access to this empty school campus all of the time. I had ghost hunting equipment, and I used to walk around the school with my ghost hunting equipment and be yo, and it was fun. So I would do stuff like that, and then that also fully just influenced my creativity because I would make videos of the school at night.
Did you hear that?
COVID-19 hit, and we were locked in my family, and me and my brother just started filming things. We would make little comedy sketches and horror movies because there's really nothing else to do. I feel like making movies and creating movies and characters, that's what I feel like I'm meant to do. Film is special to a lot of people, and it's really, really fun to be a part of, and maybe one day my films will be special to somebody.
That was a brilliant ride from start to finish. I'm so excited to see Sam's movie, but I have to say, Walter, I'm not a huge horror buff. Have you seen any scary movies?
Well, I haven't seen anything say, Night of the Living Dead, but I do see Jaws, and I thought that was scary enough for me.
That would do it for me. I had to walk out halfway through Scream 6. My confusion for not seeing any one of them before did not help me at all.
That's all we have for this edition of Hunter News Now. You can check us out on all our student stories on our YouTube channel, Hunter College Journalism.
And be sure to follow us at Hunter Journ on Twitter and at Hunter, JOURPGM on Instagram. On behalf of everyone in the studio, thank you so much for watching.
See you next time.